Hey guys, it's Kayla from Killing It With Coupons, and I am back to do another freezer dinner and produce prep and breakfast prep for you guys this week. So if you guys are new to how I do these, my freezer dinners, I did a full video on how and why I do those, along with a video on how and why I do my vegetarian meal prep, and that will be in a separate video, my vegetarian meal prep for this week. I am going to be making 4 freezer dinners, and if you guys are new, when I do my freezer dinners, what I make is just to replenish what we have out in the freezer. I'll be making 2 different recipes, and I'll be making 2 of those recipes of each. I'm doing this week chicken noodle soup and then also a chicken pot pie in the slow cooker. And those are both freezer dinners, so we're not eating those this week. That'll be for future weeks. These are just to replenish what we already have out in our freezer. I will link the recipes down below for you guys, and also I will let you guys know on my blog the complete breakdown to how I figure out basically the price of everything and how these end up costing out and the total and things like that. So you guys can go check those out over there. Also, when I do my produce prep, the side dishes that I have for that week, all of those recipes or the ideal recipe that I'd like to make for that week will be over on my blog as well, the links for those. So to start off this week, really the only meat that was on sale was chicken breast. I went ahead and picked that up at Jewel this week. They were $1.49 a pound, and I ended up picking up about 5 pounds in total. And the recipe that I am making calls for about 2 pounds for the chicken pot pie, so I'm going to be using about 1.5 pounds for that instead, and about 1 pound for the chicken noodle soup. So I'll share with you guys that and let you guys know first the chicken noodle soup. So these are all of the things that I will be needing for the chicken noodle soup for this week. The chicken breast, which like I said, the package in total had 4 chicken breasts, so I picked the smaller of the 4 for the chicken noodle soup since that needs less chicken breast. So I'll be doing those, and then I also have garlic powder, oregano, basil, bay leaves, and pepper. And I also have got 2 onions. I'll be using 1 for each of those. I've got a 1 pound bag of carrots. I'll be using a full bag of these between the 2 freezer dinners. And then I will most likely end up using this full thing of organic celery. I also have got organic chicken broth, and these I will not need until I cook the chicken noodle soup. These will actually end up staying in my pantry until then, but I'm going to need 2 cartons for each. And the same with the egg noodles. A 16 ounce, I'll normally end up splitting this in half and use about 8 ounces for each, and this will be, again, I don't need this until about the last 30 minutes I'm done cooking. So these do not get added to the freezer dinner. They will just be added in later, but that is what I'm going to need, and like I said, around about 1 pound or so of chicken breast each for these. 2 of the 4 freezer dinners are done for this week. I got both the chicken noodles all done. Nice veggie packed chicken noodle soup. Like I said, about 1 pound of chicken breast, and then also with the the celery and carrots in there, and then also the onions and some seasonings. Again, the chicken broth and then also the eggs I do not need until they are actually cooked. So this is all that I had to add to the bags, and I will let you guys know how much these end up costing to make the 2 of these, including the chicken broth and then also the egg noodles. And these are 2 of the 4 freezer dinners that are done for the week. The next 2 freezer dinners that I'll be making are the chicken pot pies. This calls for cubed chicken breast, so I already kind of cut mine up into little cubes, and this is probably around about 1.5 pounds. I think the recipe calls for about 2 pounds. And then I've also got some steamed vegetables with which I had out in my freezer, so I'm going to use these. I think again the recipe calls for like 16 ounces. These are 12 ounces, so a little bit smaller. And then also about 1.5 pounds, I think it says, of potatoes. I'm using 3 potatoes, and I'll be using an onion for each. Then I've also got flour and 1 can of chicken broth. I believe the recipe calls for a 1 full cup. This will be about 2 cups, and so I'll split it between the 2. Black pepper. It also calls for regular salt and also celery seed. Instead, I'm going to be substituting celery salt for that. And then poultry seasoning. So that is what I've got, and again, this will make 2 freezer dinners of the chicken pot pies. So I'm going to real quick whip these up. So the 2 chicken pot pies are done, and I will also need to add heavy cream to these as well. I think it's a half of a cup to each, as I wrote on there. So I'll need that, or I need to buy that when I'm actually going to cook it, because it will not stay good in the fridge for that long. But that is added about 5 minutes left. And they can also serve it with either biscuits or like Ritz crackers crunched up over the top. I most likely will do biscuits, and that's around 50 cents or so at Aldi. So that'll be an addition, as well as the heavy cream to these. But again, I won't need those until I'm actually cooking the recipe and using them for the dinner. So these are the last 2 that I got done for this week. That does it for my 4 freezer dinners for this week. For Jewel this week, I paid a little bit under $8 for my 5 pounds of chicken breast, and I was able to make 4 dinners with this week, which I thought was pretty good, along with some other, added ingredients as well. But, for the main meat parts, I think under $8 to make 4 freezer dinners is a really great price. And these are all done, so I'll let you guys also know what the total cost for all of these ended up being for this week. The next part of my prep for this week is doing the vegetable and fruit prep, or my produce prep for this week. And these will be for either snacks or else for side dishes this week. But basically, I prep everything all at one time, whether it is cutting up or chopping or just rinsing off all of the fruits and vegetables before eating them for the week, or just whatever really. So I'll share with you guys all the produce that I picked up for this week. There was some other produce that I did pick up, but I either used those for freezer dinners, or else I'll be using them for a future week, or possibly for another meal or something like that. Like, for example, I picked up 3 things of strawberries this week, but I'm only using 2 for actual snacking for the week, because the other one is going to be for both parfaits and also my lunch and my breakfast for this week. So although I do buy them and they're part of my whole produce for the week, they're used in a separate recipe. Figure the prices into the different parts of either the recipes or whatever else I'm using it for. So this in total is just all of the extra produce that I'm not using for a specific meal or anything like that, or specific recipe. It'll be either 4 side dishes that I will have recipes linked to on my blog, or else they will be for just snacking on and things like that throughout the week. So I'll share this with you guys. So this is in total all of the produce that I picked up for this week. Again, that will be for either snacking or for side dishes for this week. So I picked up a 2-pound bundle of organic bananas. 2 of these I will actually be using for my breakfast for this week as well. So in total, there were 3 extra bananas. I got a 4-pound bag of oranges that I'll be chopping those up, and these are all gala apples. I got 8 in total. I also got a 5-pound box of halos, and so I will be using these. These will just be for snacking on. I might use a couple for my lunches as well. There's also green grapes that I got on sale this week, and then for my salad for the week, I'm doing 1 whole head of lettuce, and then also 2 organic beefsteak tomatoes and 1 cucumber, and these will be a side salad that we'll have for dinner every day this week. And then also the bell peppers for this week. I got 4 green, 2 yellow, and 2 red. I also got 3 zucchinis. These will be for side dishes. I also got cantaloupe. This will be for snacking on. The bell peppers, those will be for snacking on, and then I will most likely use them for breakfast for next week as well. And then these are all organic mini peppers, and these will be for a side dish for this week, most likely some type of stuffed peppers. Then I've also got green beans as well. These will just be steamed for side dish. And then I've got 2 things of strawberries for snacking on, and also 4 things of blackberries for snacking on, and a thing of organic blueberries. Now, some of these I might be using for my lunches as well. It just kind of depends. And then also the grape tomatoes, which will just kind of be for snacking on as well. And then asparagus, which will be sauteed for a side dish this week. So that is pretty much it in total for all the produce that I got. And I'm going to prep all of this up. So this is all the produce that I cut up for this week. Everything else, like I said, that pretty much just stays whole. But I cut up all of the oranges, and I also cut up the side salad. This is the cucumber, head of lettuce, and also the 2 tomatoes. And then I cut up all of the bell peppers. That's 8 in total in there. And then I've got zucchini. Again, I will saute that for a side dish. That's the asparagus. The zucchini, I am going to bake and do baked zucchini. And then I've also got the cantaloupe, which is all cut up for snacks, and then these bell peppers, which will be for stuffed peppers, and then also the green beans, which I will steam for just steamed green beans. So that is the produce prep for this week. So the last part of my prepping for the week is doing the breakfast, and I'm going to be making 3 breakfast preps as I did last week as well, so I'll share those with you guys. This is the first breakfast prep that I'm going to be doing, and these are the breakfast bowls. And if you guys have watched my videos the last few weeks that I've been doing these will be for 6 in total. However, I make 3 for myself, and then I also make 3 for my family to have for breakfast. And with mine, I don't use the eggs or the salsa because I really can't do eggs. So I just add the bell peppers, potatoes, and the cheese to mine. So that is a little bit different, but that will be in my vegetarian meal prep. Total, the 3-pound bag plus the extra the red peppers, those will make a total of 6 bowls. And then I add 2 eggs. I do 6 eggs in total, and that will add 2 eggs to each pretty much, and then also some cheese and salsa as well. So these will be 3 of the breakfasts for this week. I'm also going to be making some parfaits for breakfast this week, and these are going to be with these Chobani Greek yogurts, and then also too with the Dannon Oikos yogurt as well. I had 1 coupon for this, so I'm going to use 1 of these and then 3 of the Chobani, and that was the way I worked it out for this week. Sometimes I'll do 3. This week I'm going to do 4, and then I've also got about 1/2 of a pint of blueberries in here, and then I've got 6 ounces of the blackberries that I'm going to be using, and then I will probably end up using about 1/2 or so, maybe a little bit less than that, like 1/3 of the strawberries, the 1-pound package of strawberries. And then I've also got some protein granola as well that I will add to these to be added separately. So when I do these, I like to add fresh berries because those are always tasty. I really don't do bananas just because I like to do them with berries. I don't normally end up eating these for myself. I think everybody likes them with the berries. And then also to this protein granola, which I got on sale a while ago, couponed for that. So yeah, I'm mixing got a couple different Greek yogurts this week, but this week is going to be 4 Greek yogurts that I'm going to be making. So the last breakfast that I'll be making for this week is going to be the breakfast sandwiches, and these are with eggs and the English muffins and also the cheese. This week I'm adding in some Polish ham since it was on sale as well, and so I did a video on these last Sunday on how to make these, and so this is what I'm going to be adding. You guys can also add vegetables and things like that too, and I explained to you guys in that video, the Cook With Me Sunday, on how you guys can make these and add in extra vegetables too if you are prefer that. So this is the way I'm doing it for this week. When I did the video, I didn't add the ham only because I didn't have any, but this week it was on sale, so I went ahead and picked that up, and I'll be adding about a strip or 2 of ham to each sandwich as well. These are all the breakfasts for this week that I finished up, and so these are the breakfast bowls. They've got the potatoes and peppers in here, and they've also got egg and cheese, and then also some salsa over the top of those, and that made 3. Like I said, I also made those 3 for myself as well with the extra potatoes and peppers. And then also the English muffins. Now there's just 3 in here of each of these, and what I decided to do was reuse the box actually, because I individually wrapped each one of these. If you guys can see in there, I don't know if you'll be able to really tell, the egg is in there, and there's cheese and also the ham. And what I did was reuse these bags, and I'll put them back in the fridge now, because what I noticed last week when I had them in the gallon sized freezer bag, they were getting a little smushed up and banged around in the fridge. So I thought this was perfect. It'll actually help save a little bit on space, because now I can kind of stack them a little bit better, and they won't get smushed or anything since they're kind of in the boxes. So I thought that would help out just a little bit, and that there's 3 in each of these. This was actually a leftover box, and so I reused this. This was from prior. I picked these up, but there's just 6 in total, and again, I just used the Aldi brand one, but these I had picked up at a different store. And then these, which are super, super cute, I got these little jar thingies. They're actually supposed to be for separating tools and stuff like that, or screws and nails and stuff. You could use them. They're multi-purpose jars. At Menards, I got them for free. I got 10 of them for free this week, and these are so neat though, because they came in 6 6, 8, and 12 ounces. These are the 12 ounce. These are the 6 ounce, and these are the 8 ounces. So the 8 ounces ones were a little bit more smushed, but I got these from Menards, and so I use these because they'll perfectly, they lock and everything like that. They are dishwasher safe, they're just not microwave safe, so you can use them for food as well, which is what I'm doing. Did 4 in total. I did these also over here, and so these would just work out really well though, I think, because you can have the granola separate and people can add that in as they want. But yeah, this one, they're a little bit small, the 8 ounce ones, but that was the only size of those that I had. So the 12 ounce ones are a little bit better. But yeah, those are the Parfaits. These are the breakfast sandwiches, and then also the breakfast bowls. So that pretty much does it for my breakfast prep for this week. So guys, that does it for my freezer dinners and my produce prep and also my breakfast prep. Again, I will have the link to my blog down below so you guys can find the complete breakdown, how I figure out the prices to everything, basically. And then also too, you guys can check out my freezer dinner video that I did a couple weeks ago on my Chat With Me Sunday about how I do them. And you guys can also check out the other portion of how I kind of use my groceries this week in my vegetarian meal prep as well, which should be out very shortly also. So I will see you guys all next week. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys give it a big old thumbs up. If you're new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next week. So bye guys.